Welcome back, football fans, and here we are at the end of the line, the end of the season for the 2013 Montana Grizzly football team. We're back with Griz Tracks, and I'm AJ Mazzolini.
And I'm Bill Speltz, beat writer for the Griz football team for the Missoulian.
And the Grizzly season ended over the weekend against Coastal Carolina here at home. A real nasty, cold game, and just so much was going wrong in there, and Grizzlies just wasted too many good opportunities.
They did, and they lost to a good football team, Coastal Carolina. A lot of talent on offense. I think they had 6 all-conference players, and
came in averaging about 43 points a game, scored 42. They didn't really seem to be bothered too much by that nasty weather.
Definitely, and you have to be impressed with their quarterback, AJ. He hurt him with his legs running the football. I think he had over 120 yards rushing the ball. And it's tough to contain those guys when they can do that, and really a nice arm throwing the ball into a wind there at Washington-Grizzly Stadium.
Yeah, the thing was -5 degrees, and it kind of became a shootout, just like you were sort of expecting last week on Griz Tracks. A lot of yards on both sides of the ball, and in the end, Grizzlies just couldn't really keep up.
Yeah, definitely, and they were very disappointed in the way they played defensively. Obviously, they had a lot of seniors. I think they graduate 6 seniors, quality players. It just didn't come together for them this year. They were up and down defensively, and I know they'll work hard to improve on that in the offseason, but they will miss a lot of good seniors.
That's right, about 6 seniors off the defensive side of the ball, including really that entire linebacking core, which coming into this year was really expected to be a strength.
And they were a strength. I thought it's it's hard to put your finger on one thing. There were times where they didn't get enough of a pass rush. There were times when they just couldn't contain the running quarterbacks, and there were times when the secondary struggled. I just think it's getting tougher and tougher to defend these teams with these dual threat quarterbacks, and they've got to come up with a game plan for next season.
Yeah, quarterback really changing the way the game is played at the college and the pro level as well. But so we're losing some linebackers. Who else is going to be back though for the Grizzlies on defense next year?
Well, you got to look at who they have on the ends there with Zack Wagenmann and Tyrone Holmes. Definitely experienced, and Tyrone came on late in the season, so that'll be a strength. And they've got Tonga Takai inside, and some others too that saw a lot of playing time. You don't want to forget Jesse Ginn, the Hellgate grad, who saw a lot of playing time this season. I'm sure he'll do well, and Crittenden's another good player, but linebacker-wise, we're going to
there's some
question marks.
Yeah. And then in the defensive backfield, I know Anthony Goodwin was a senior. He was sort of their best cover corner all year long, although he missed a little bit of time, some injuries, which kind of bit the Grizzlies a lot, actually, all over the place.
Yeah, the defensive coordinator, Ty Gregorak, will point out that he missed the Eastern Washington game, and that they really missed him for that one. But Nate Harris will be back, and they've got Justin Whitted, they expect to help out at safety there. And Bo Telly will also graduate. He's a big loss at strong safety. But they have Matt Hermanson back at free safety, and what a sensational season he had.
And then on the other side of the ball, the Grizzlies are going to look a little better next year in terms of the offense. Will be very similar to this year. A lot of those skill position guys back. The only real big losses seem to be maybe on that offensive line.
That's right, and I think they'll be all right there. There were some younger guys that got playing time. They're going to have a lot of depth at running back. That'll be nice with Jordan Canada and Trayvon Van. I look for him to do some different things with those guys next season. And then, of course, Ellis Henderson will be back for his junior year.
Boy, what a breakout year he had.
Yeah, definitely. It should be fun. They should put up a lot of points again next season. And I look for a shootout in that game 1 at Wyoming.
Yeah, we'll be starting that year on the road against FBS Wyoming. Just down the road a little bit there in Laramie, Wyoming. And Grizzlies haven't played a FBS team to start a season for a couple years now. They had that game down in Tennessee against an SEC team, but maybe not quite as staggering of a contest against Wyoming, though.
Yeah, I think this one's a better fit, AJ. You got to believe that Wyoming going through a transition. They'll have a new coach for next season. They won't be clicking. It won't be sharp that first game, and who knows? Wouldn't it be fun to see an upset there on week 1?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a matchup that makes a lot of sense, sort of regionally based. Teams that have played each other a little more often than maybe Montana against the SEC for sure. And then a lot of guys will be back next year, but let's talk a little bit more about the guys who kind of left their mark on the Grizzly program this year. Montana improves just a whole bunch between a year ago, and then this past season going up to 10-3, including that playoff loss. Who do you see as sort of the MVPs of the season for the Grizzlies?
Well, I start with defense. I'd say Brock Coyle. He led them in tackles for the second year in a row. And beyond that, what an amazing season. Big plays. He had the interception that ended the game against Cal Poly, the overtime game. And he had the big forced fumble against Montana State. That was a huge play in that game. Just a guy with a nose for the football, and he's one of those. There's a few of them. Jordan Tripp is another one that you're interested to see what's going to happen come NFL draft day.
Yeah, and Coyle's got a little bit of that McSurdy sort of thing going on from a couple of years ago. We'll see. Maybe he gets a look, free agent contract, something like that. Hopefully be seeing him playing again next year as well. But on the other side of the ball, I just think that with the addition of Jordan Johnson, just a huge difference between last year and this year's team. And it kind of started with him under center, and the team just got a little bit of that confidence, a little bit of swagger back with the leader in the middle.
Yeah, and one thing you notice from seeing Jordan, hearing him talk in press conferences, is that he's kind of a perfectionist. So you know that he's going to work hard to be even better next season. He's a meticulous, detail-oriented guy, and so it's going to be fun to see what he can do. He's got a lot of his receivers back. They will miss Cam Warren, a gutsy little receiver for him, but with Ellis Henderson and Chase Nacarado came on late in the season, and Jamal Jones had a great game against Montana State. It's going to be fun. I talked to Mick Delaney earlier in the week, and he's looking forward to getting going already. I'm sure that's kind of the way they feel about football. It's kind of sudden when it's over, and then you just got to start thinking toward next season.
Yeah, and looking toward next year, they will have Jordan Johnson back. He's only a junior this year, so I'm sure he'll be looking to have another stellar senior campaign and get back there deep in the playoffs like he was a couple of years ago under the Pflugrad regime. Again, thanks for watching us all year long here at Griz Tracks, and we'll tune in next year as we bring you back the videos. Thanks.